It's definitely there.
Okay.
She said, I can go online today and then bring down.
So it's Friday. Friday, Friday, Friday. Let me do a quick check, make sure nothing's going on anywhere. And oh,
Nice magic.
so that uh, nothing going on. Great. Nothing going on. Great. So, all right. Well, all that's done. I should have done a minute ago, but everything's fine. All right. Well, how's everybody doing? Clearly you can see it's daylight. That's unusual for me. I mean, except during the summer, but normally my blinds aren't open during the summer because it just lets all the heat in. But right now it's actual daylight. Isn't that wild? I don't live in a cave entirely. Um, how's everybody doing today? Um, let's get our coffee and move some of these guys out of the way from Monday. Put our coffee down. Have a little coffee chat uh, with myself. For the moment, I'm the only one here. I think Goddess, she's still on streaming Stardew, so whenever she's done, maybe she'll read over and tell her I was streaming now. Told her I was streaming today, but it's all good. Yep. So what are we gonna do today? I guess we can talk about what we did before and lead up to it, right? Let me get some stuff out of the way. You over here, and then you put my brush up like from last time. I'll be using it later anyway. Uh, so what I'm going to be using today. What's that? This is what we're working on in the grand scheme of things anyway. I've got this Voyager scene. And wow, I didn't realize there's some like little globs of the rubber on top. That's interesting. So we're going to do a Voyager scene with a backdrop of a nebula that they are currently at warp. You can tell if you know Star Trek Voyager because their nacelles are in an up position. Because they're at warp. Yeah. So we're gonna basically do a scene of Voyager at warp heading toward a nebula that they're gonna be investigating. So I have traced a Voyager image on here. Not great, but from a distance it'll be fine. But up close is kind of wonky, but that's okay. It's kind of cartoony in a way. I noticed after this dried, it became far more transparent, so you can see all the lines through it. And there's a couple of tiny little spots that look like they are so thin that they might not be fully covered. So I may go back over and do a couple little dabs in a couple spots, like right, focus, focus, right, focus, focus, focus. There. And the little spot where it's really white, I think is just raw paper. So I'm gonna touch this up. There's coffee in that nebula. Hey, Tricky, welcome in. Yeah. That's exactly what my theme was for this. I was going to do basically that kind of scene. I was looking at that creature, nebula, I mean, creature spoilers, but The Cloud is the episode that that's from. And it is basically, to break it down, you already know this, but it's basically a episode where one in the first season, I think it's only like 6 or 7 episodes in, where they're running low on resources and they have to gather up some energy so they can recharge their fuel supply, right? And in the process, in the beginning, Janeway's trying to get some coffee because the replicators were like offline, and the only ones that are up and running, I think, are in I was going to call it 10 forward in the mess hall. And Neelix stops her. He's like, no, no, no. I'm going to give you some of this better than coffee substitute stuff because we have to watch our replicator rations. I think that's the same episode. And she doesn't want it. And she ends up finding out from a call from the bridge that there's a nebula nearby. And she heads off and goes up and realizes that they can gather energy from the nebula somehow and use that to recharge their supplies so they can get back on replicators so she can have her dang coffee. So that's where there's Coffee in That Nebula comes from, right before they cut to the title screen of the episode. But yes, this is it was one of the possibilities for where they're going, right? Um, I was trying to decide today, actually. My goal today was figuring out what kind of nebula we're going to have in the background. And we were going to do some tests of which ones we're going to try to do. But I was trying to figure out, do I want to go like traditional, like do from the show? Do I want to actually do the cloud? Because there's very few images of it. They're any good from a distance. So I could technically kind of do that one. I can do another nebula that they've gone towards. I can do a realistic, like a real world, like NASA image of a nebula. That's maybe in the Delta Quadrant somewhere that they're viewing on the way, and they're stopping off to do research at. It doesn't have to be the one from the cloud. It can be any nebula or any spatial anomaly or anything we can think of. So my goal today was going to be doing a tiny bit of research and then more on the painting side on the smaller sheet. And I was just going to coordinate off with how many example nebula we have, and then try to do like a miniature version of each of them. And then maybe once we saw it in paint, we could better judge what we want to see large in the background. And my goal is to make it not in the whole background. I want it to be like it's just far enough away that they're approaching it still, but not so overblown that it's taking up the whole background. I want it to be some dark space and there's like something they're heading towards. So it's probably going to be over on the whole top right hand quadrant that we're going to fill it up. Maybe a tiny bit of overlap faintly behind the ship, but primarily they're headed toward it. So we'll figure that out later. I think I will do the touch up on this off screen because there's only a couple spots and it doesn't really involve a lot. So I'll do that later. But I just noticed it. It's very obvious in that one particular spot right there. And there's a couple tiny little spots that are dry that I am definitely gonna add some more of that masking fluid to. For now, I'll put it off to the side to keep it safe. And then I think I am. Oh, and the other things you saw back here, I was going through all of the paint supplies that I've got and testing a variety of colors for the ship's engines. So the blue for the engine part, and then the red for the impulse engines and photon torpedo launchers and all the things that are red and glowing on the ship. So I was going through all of my paints. This is, for example, from my main palette, the white one over here, this guy. And some of them were good. I kind of like the primary red magenta for looking like the starship kind of color, but the clean red and the permanent red light are kind of good too. But I don't have a good blue. It's hard to tell in the lighting here, but when it comes to the engine nacelle, it's got a very cerulean look, and I've got cerulean, and it's not on my main palette. So that one's out. Another option I looked at is that green palette underneath the Kuretake one. It's got a lot of options too, and I might mix and match, but in order to get a consistent color that looks like it's glowing, this one's a little bit more difficult because as it starts getting thinner, it gets kind of granulated and it doesn't look quite as bright when it's pale. I'd have to do some color mixing creatively and try to come up with something. So that one's a maybe, but probably out. Other option is over here actually. This tiny Winsor Newton Cotman set. Looks like this right here. Has a couple of options, but they're very pure looking. So I did the red and the two blues that are on here, and this is what those look like. Again, pretty, but very granular. So it starts shifting colors very rapidly if you don't have a good consistent blend going. So that bottom cerulean is a nice kind of blue color for the engine glow. So this is another possibility, but my favorite possibility are from these guys. My liquid watercolor inks. This one in particular is a cerulean hue. These guys have the best smooth consistency out of all of them. So like the cerulean has a really pretty look. Phthalo blue I won't need, but it's got a really pretty look to it as well. The reds are very pure and very consistent. So I think once I mix water in with the ink and get a good solid fluid going, I'll have a good consistent color that I can work with. So I think these might be my best option. So I think this is what I'm going to use. So I'll set those to the side as well. Okay. I'm going to set my palette away. Yep. When it comes to doing the space scene, the nebula in the background behind Voyager, I've yet to decide which paints I'm going to use. I'm thinking I might use the Kuretake set, but I'm not sure yet. We'll find out while we're testing what we're going to go with. But I think we need to do some research first. Not a tremendous amount because I don't want to get bogged down by that. But I think we're going to switch over to the computer over here. And I'm going to move my mic around and then get my browser up where you can see it. And you can go here and you can go here. Ta-da. And let me figure out how I'm going to do this. Let's see here. So if I do that right there. Oh, you know what? I actually have a better idea. Slightly better idea. I'm going to put my mic back where I had it. I'm going to, yes, disconnect my keyboard and bring it over to the iStream and grab my mouse and bring it over here as well. And make myself a little mouse pad out of that. And then I love how I'm like looking for it and I just moved it. Let me hit this one. Hey, there we go. All right, we can do that. Okay, so let's take a look at nebula options. So first things first, let's look up the episode itself. Let's look up Star Trek Voyager the Cloud images. Oh yeah, there's a scene I was talking about where Neelix is pouring his better than coffee substitute, and it comes out like thick, and she is just aghast at seeing it. It's such a good episode. Even early on, they did a great job. I think it's really rough in a lot of TV shows that they've got their getting warmed up, getting started. Like it felt like Star Trek: The Next Generation. The whole first season felt like that, and part of the second season until they hit their stride. It feels like Voyager got over that really quickly, at least to me. Let's see. We have this scene is inside the nebula. I do with air quotes. This is from the inside when they are looking at the mistake that they made. This is another view of this very same scene, just fast forwarded a little bit. This is somebody's image they took. That looks like it's not even from it, but it could be. That's from it when they did their like weird angle, like Buck Rogers kind of thing, where the ship is at an angle, which made no sense. Oh, some of these look neat. Oh yeah, it looks a little better. But I don't want from inside the nebula because we're approaching it, right? So I was trying to find. There was one. I just have to find the damn thing. I found it. Oh, that's pretty. It has nothing to do with what we're doing, but that's gorgeous. Ah, Voyager erupting from the cloud surface. Gorgeous. Anyway, gosh, I don't know how I'm going to see it. Did I look for it on Google? And because this is Bing, it doesn't find the same results. It could be that. I don't even know what that is. Ablative armor? I know that from the last episode, but I don't recognize this scene behind it. Maybe it's somebody's custom created thing. Anywho, what else do we have? Yeah, I'm not really seeing one. I think I downloaded it. Let me check. Uh, this folder, this folder. Mm, maybe I didn't. Maybe I did not. No. What are you trying to open in? Open in photos, maybe? That's the same one that we have open over here. I downloaded one, but I thought I got the one that I wanted to look at where it was at a distance. Let's go back to our original search and maybe we'll use nebula a distance. Is it smart enough to do that? Ah, this one? I think it is that one. Yeah. That's a really terrible image of that. That is the one from the cloud, right? Yes, that is this one. The cloud. Yep. Okay. Ah, why is that such a terrible ass picture? I'm gonna save it, but damn, that's gonna be ugly. I need this under here. I'll move this off screen. Uh, yep. See, this one. This one right here. Yeah, totally. And then this one. Yeah. Of course, it's a WebP file. I hate that shit. Whatever. It'll open. Yeah, it works. It's just really small, but it might be enough to have a gist of it. Or I can do like a reverse image lookup. And it's like so faint looking too. It's got like no definition, no saturation. Let's look for a better version of this. But now we know we can look up the nucleogenic cloud being. Maybe that will get us a better image. Copy. Is there a better one here? No, of course not. Again, outside it. Is that really the best version of the image? I can't believe that. What do they have? Is it this thing right here? Yes, I know. Find me a better version of it. Oh, is it pretty? Oh, wouldn't that be funny? It's the same colors. If we just do that and say that is one of those beings, that'd be kind of fun. Or this one. Oh, that was so pretty. Oh, I like that one. Oh no. Oh no. Do I do that one? Or do I do this one? Maybe I can download both. Okay. Can I get both of them from this? And it might be like, oh, you ripped it off. Save image as. And is it a thumbnail? And do I have to go hunt down the actual image somewhere else? Nope, that's the actual image. Nice. And this one, I like that one. So same dealio. We're going to save image as. Put it in the same place. Oh, so pretty. Oh, that is gorgeous. Okay, let's keep looking because I also want, technically I want this one. And it's like nobody's got a better quality version of that. Oh, man. There's one. That's also like, it looks low res. Let's get, see the image as. Let's get a bigger version of that. It's an AV1 image file. AVIF. Sure. We'll take that AVIF. Yeah. Open it in photos always. Oh, that's actually not too bad. It's definitely a higher resolution version of it. It looks like it was taken from a tube TV, which is probably what it was. Or ripped from like streaming service or something. Man, the one thing we need so bad, we need a remaster of the entire Star Trek Voyager series. I think that would be so amazing. We could really stand to have that. All right. Well, I hate to do it, but let's look at AI for a brief moment. Because why not? Can you upscale and color correct saturate this image? Let's see what hell it comes up with. I'll come back to that in a minute. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. We'll see what it does. Let's see what other nebula came up that are in that same color range, because I kind of like that. That looks like the edge of a galaxy behind a planet, so maybe not so much. Orion Nebula. It's a little blah. Oh, no. I don't want to rip off somebody else's art. I want to find actual, like, space scenes if I can help it. Oh, man, I love the ones like this where all of the stars are the bright yellow stars instead of just white. I should totally do a galaxy nebula image like that once. I usually do white stars, sometimes with like some reds and some yellows mixed in behind the scenes behind it, but doing one like this where they're all like golden and orange would be pretty cool. I may save that just for myself. Save. Save image. There we go. What else do we have? Ooh. It's a small image. There are larger ones underneath, perhaps. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, I'm not. We have our nebula. Is pretty complicated though, but pretty. What are you? Oh, that one's pretty. That's a small res one though. Is there a better version? It might not be. I like the idea of it going off screen or off the top of the canvas because they're approaching it. That is gorgeous. Oh man, find me more of that. Okay. This might be somebody else's creation though. Oh yeah, that's why. It's from a video. Oh, that's sad. Get out of here. That's sad. But it makes me realize I like that effect, that look. Or we could even do something like this and then rotate it. Wait, is that what that is? No, but it's close. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's a much higher res version. Let's look at that. Save image as. Put it over there. All right, what do you look like? Wow, that's not the same image. Like it is, but it's not the big version. Can I open the image in a new tab? And will it be the full screen? Why does it say that it's got a high res version of it and then it's not? Like this says it is 5333 by 3000, but it isn't. Unless there's a link to the same image elsewhere on the page. Oh, that's pretty. Nope, I think we've gone off the rails to something else altogether. But I want that one. I like that one. Come on. This is from Reddit. It's small res. Maybe the other one was a lie. Oh, that one's pretty. That one is pretty. What happens if I save that one? Your WebP file, so that's sometime. It might be. Oh, no, I think it is. So rotate. That rotate? No, that's share. Rotate. Isn't there normally a rotate on here? Oh, it's this one, I think. Or is it undo? Am I being stupid? There used to be a rotate button. Do they change it in the photo viewer in Windows? Because there used to be a rotate button right here. Or do they move it somewhere else? Do I have to hit edit and then do it? That's stupid. Oh, that looks like undo and redo. Rotate. Here we go. Yeah, something like that. Hmm. Yes. Save as copy. That's fine. Yes. No. I want to be in here with all the other stuff that I do. Okay. I like that as an option. We'll come back to it. That one's pretty. Oh, I love the ones that have so much detail that you feel like you get lost in it. You know what I should do? How about this? How about we go, instead of using image search, how about we look up NASA images, I'll just do space. I mean, I'll do galaxies and nebula, but let's see where the site is. I don't, image search. All. Is this all it does now? Just show you all this stuff? What is going on here? What the hell? I want all results. I want web results. What is it doing? What's going on here? Refresh. Oh, I don't want images. I want actual web results to go to the NASA website that has all of this. I don't understand. Why did this change? Am I under like a separate image search thing or something? Okay, I'm seriously lost right here. What is happening? Is this some new like Google AI bullshit? What is going on? Have you seen this? I'm like literally looking for a website. I'm trying to find one in the regular Google search, not the image search. And all it's giving me is image results because probably because I said images in the search, it's not giving me possible web results, which is what I want actually. I want to go to NASA's website, wherever they host like the Hubble and all the other images.
Might have to typing NASA or something.
It's in there, NASA images of space. Oh. But it's like choosing to only give me images because I said images. Oh my God. Okay. So NASA website housing images of space. I'm still getting images. I mean, I need to go back to Google and then do a search from here. There we go. It's like I was locked in like their image search, but there was no button or anything showing I was in image search. And even the URL up on top said Google. That irritates me. Ugh. Anyway, well, this is just the generic images. I might go back to that one, but there's one that is actually like Hubble images. I may have to actually put that in. Oh, no, there. No, that's top. Oh, you see, maybe. Oh, wow. Look at Jupiter. Okay. So images, categories, nebula. Yeah. Look at this. So many neat looking nebula. Orion. Oh, that was pretty. Oh, that was pretty too. See, I could just get lost looking at space pictures. Is that what it actually looks like? That's interesting. Just like multiple explosions and like the shock waves. I could get lost. This looks like a dude standing there with a pickaxe. Okay. Tarantula Nebula, nice. Pam. Oh, this one's always pretty. Veil Nebula. I'm telling you, space. I like, and it's part of me is like, oh, so it's disappointing that it doesn't actually look like this with this color, but the texture is there. And we just put filters on to make it look colorful to our human eyes. But in reality, it's still gorgeous. It's just dust for the most part. Still. And fun, fun. That's pretty. Supernova remnant. It's not wanting to load. There we go. That one's pretty. I like the idea of that one. Let me save that one to the side as well. All right. That one is gorgeous, but I don't think I could get that kind of clarity. But man, that's pretty. I'm just building myself a nebula library. That is so pretty. I'm kind of like lost looking at it. That's so neat. Okay. We do have a lot of options. That one's pretty too. Crab nebula in bright neon colors. That is gorgeous. Save that one. Some of these I don't know how I'm going to do, but we're going to try it. Clearly, I'm not going to get exact, but I can certainly get some of the colors in there and get like close to it, right? Dun, 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 dun. What is that? That's mild. Let's see. Boomerang nebula. That's interesting. Kind of simple for what I'm looking for, but that's interesting looking. Right. Page 3. I'm waiting for something that'll blow me away. Oh, sorry, beyond in your ear. That's pretty. What is this one? Messier, Messier? I think it's how you say it. 17. That's pretty. It's very close. I'm trying to look for something that's a little bit like further away. And that looks like the PlayStation background. Probably where they got the idea. PlayStation, not space. Obviously. Oh. Oh yeah, another image to Veil Nebula. Pretty. So ethereal. All right. That one's interesting too. That one's interesting. Egg nipple. Oh, that's pretty too. Oh my god, so many options. Why is space so gorgeous? Oh, that's so neat. Okay. Yeah, clearly. Ooh, kind of like that. Oh, I like that. It's a nice one. Sabe. Huh. Okay. Back up. That's pretty too. Complicated. More of the Tarantula Nebula, of course. It's got so much going on. Skip maybe 1 or 2, and then we can go back to looking at painting. We'll see what we're going to try out. Okay. God, so many of these are so weird looking like that. How did it manage to make all those ripples like that? It's so wild. So cool. Oh, I like that one. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. That. I mean, honestly, that's an option too. Just the only downside with these is like I want to try to get like ones like this that capture the whole object as much as possible, fading into the space around it. If I get something like this one that's too zoomed in, I have to imagine what's around it. And there's way more usually than what is zoomed in on these. And as much as these are beautiful for what I'm doing right here, I want to be able to show that it's at a distance and we're heading towards it at warp. You know, we're not going to be right up in it like this and still at warp. You know, they're going to be just coming out of warp because they're practically on top of it by this point. I want to show their approach to it. It needs to be big enough that they're still heading towards it like a minute or two out or something. That's pretty. Lagoon Nebula. Uncropped image, so they say. Oh, that's so pretty. That's a contender. Ah, wide field. Oh, just God, just one image. Look at thousands of stars with multiple thousands of worlds spinning around them that literally some of them are going to have life on them. That's just probably all of them have life, even if it's microbial. That's just stunning. Okay. Oh, 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 I can do both. Gimme. And have some coffee. Come on. Load. Come on, ESAHubble.org. Load. Yes. Everything's fine. Stream is up. Internet's working. It's just their site that's being funky. There we go. Cat's Eye Nebula. It's just a different perspective of it. That's fascinating. Okay, save image ends. We have far more than we need, but I like being over-prepared if I can help it. That one's pretty. As well, save. Okay. All right. I'll look at the last page, and then when you're moving on, I'm just going to use a quick scan. Oh, that looks awesome. Pillars of Creation, of course. Oh, that's so cool. God dang it. Look how awesome that looks. Okay. I'm saving it just for me. I got, I didn't see. Oh my God, you can get full size. And, oh, fine. Open photo viewer for now. Oh, open over here. No. No. Oh, you can zoom in so far. Oh, my God. Look at this. Oh. Oh, okay. I've been getting the thumbnails, which is all I really need for this, but oh my God, there's zoomable versions in the web that you can just zoom in. Dude. This is so cool. Oh no. Okay, get me out of here or I'm going to be looking at this all day long, but I will tell you what I am going to do. You can bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to do. I'm bookmarking this and we're coming back to it in the future because we need it. All right. Wait. 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 I forgot all about it. What? What'd you do, ChatGPT? What the hell? What? What? How did it do this? How did it go from this to this? It took this. I asked it to upscale it and color correct, and it it made a portrait of someone. Oh, it's so what was it thinking? No. How? Did it cross wires with someone else's image somewhere or something? How? Anyway, we're not even gonna look into that. That's just I can't believe that happened. Anyway, let's stop looking at that. Jeez. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. I actually have a lot of stuff in here I should probably move. Is there anything that I've got locked in? I have the Voyager image on here. I can delete that. Well, no, I'll save it for the future. And what is this one? What are you? Oh, right. Okay, so that can go delete layer. I think that's the only one. And then view. Let me make a subfolder, archive, and you and you. I'm just gonna offload all of my images that I'm not currently using that aren't nebula. Uh, uh, lightning strikes can go, even though they're cool. And prisms from the other day, rainbows. That can go. That can go. And all those can go into archive. What's up?
Sure, but the tape is leaning.
Volume?
So wait. It's leaning.
Leaning all the way.
Life towards the best. You're forgetting.
I don't think so.
And if this already was leaning, get ready to fall forward.
I don't think so. I mean, it is precarious, but right now it seems okay. But thank you. You never know. It could have fallen on my face. All right. So we have. Is this going to show them all, or is it going to skip certain types? That one's there. That one's there. That one's there. That one's garbage. Oh, I got a better version of that. That can go. Let me delete that one. Yeah, that's that little tiny one that we didn't like. All right, let's try this again. That one. That one. That's there. That one's there. I'll have to zoom it in. Outline. 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 Same one, but turn. So I'll get rid of the outline. Outline, outline, outline. Yeah, it looks like everything is loading like it should. That's good. Oh, I got a better version of that, so that can go too. Okay. All right. So close. This one and this one can go. And there we have it. Okay. All right. So how am I going to do this? I can do this, but it's taking up too much space. So no pun intended. So I need that screen, which is, I can do this. It's not that one. It's not that one. For my, oh, I put it up top. That's why. Okay, my bad. I need to unlock it, and I need to grab the corner of it, and we can shrink it down. Okay, let's move it over here. Okay, and if I tab through these, we can see them. And I think there might even be a slideshow, unless I get to control it. Oh God, what the hell? Okay, so it did a slideshow, and it just started playing music, which is disgusting. So we're going to turn off auto loop. We're going to turn off music, turn off transitions and animations. I just want to control it myself. Can I do that? No, it's just going to slideshow through them on its own. Okay, so that's not what I want. Do they have a non-slideshow version of looking at everything? There was a full screen. This is visual search with Bing. Scan text. Oh, is it this one? No, that's zoom to fit. Oh, it's this one. There we are. That's what I wanted. Oh, that's better. That's better. Oh, okay, that's what I want. Okay. Man, nothing like troubleshooting on the fly. Okay. All right. So this way, it's in front of me, so I can see it. I can move my keyboard now because I don't need it over here. I'll get back up later. I'll just get it where I can reach it because I'm going to need it for the cursor. And I've got my mouse ready in case I need to do stuff with it too. Or I think some of it might be cropped too far, but it's okay. I did that on purpose so I don't show the taskbar when I've got that screen shown. So this is fine for now. All right. Okay. So what are we doing? Well, let me grab this sheet. Let's go ahead and get it taped down on the edges, and then we can figure out how to cordon it off. Once we figure out how many of these we want to try to do. And clearly, I don't think I'm going to do all of them today. It's just kind of a fun day for me. So a fun day where I am experimenting on something that I'm going to actually be putting on a big meeting. Those two, no, that should be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. Let me get some tape going. Actually, I think I'm going to have to turn my light up here on. Some of the light from outside was starting to fade. It's only 1 o'clock, but I think it's just hot or something. Okay. Can go there. Excuse me. And get really in the corner. Because I think this being half the width of this tape, I can go half around with this. And then when I do my cording it off, I can use the half width and then it will match the border thickness. So you need to go that far, right? And excuse me, gosh. Well, I didn't choose anything music that's playing in the background, but there's some random stuff going that's thankfully kind of just random. I'm sure it's for video games because I chose a lo-fi Stardew Valley playlist, and I think it ran out. So that's fine. There's hair on there. Is that close? On the other side, so I need to look at it. Yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, it worked. I mean, because in theory, this is both experimentation and is going to be its own painting, its own right. So you can do random, real nebula. I actually haven't really done any real nebula. Because I mean, being able to have the freedom of doing abstract, where if I make a mistake, nobody really knows or cares so much because it's abstract. It's not supposed to look like something real. Gives me the freedom to make mistakes, but trying to recreate something like we see in front of us here, I don't know. We'll see. There's no guarantees. Oh, fun. The audio's doing that little staticky noise again. I don't know what's causing it. My headphone. Could be. I'll have to go back and look at the VOD and try to see if I hear that in stream. But anyway, I'll scoot this guy out of here for now. And we've got our water ready to go. So before I cordon this off, let's figure out how many of these we're going to test. So we have this fun looking guy. We've got that one, which is a bit complicated, but it's really pretty and multicolored. So I wouldn't know where to go with that, but we could try. That one is just overall gorgeous. I love that one. That one's pretty too. I like that one a lot when I was looking at it originally. I still do. Still kind of like a heart shape to it in a way. That one's gorgeous as well. Pillars of creation always look amazing. They look kind of like horses erupting out of space. This one's one of my leading contenders because I like that I can put it up near the top of the page on the top right and let it fade to the left and the bottom into space and show them heading towards it. So this is a good contender for that. This one's just pretty, but small. I might not do this one. This one is interesting looking as well. I like the colors. I like the red and the orange in the back. This one's always gorgeous looking. I think it's the Crab Nebula. I don't remember. That one is just a bunch of space and the stars. I just like that one for how many stars there were in it and the color that they have. And this one is just gorgeous as well. That's another option. I mean, this one looks like one that they would have used in the show, to be perfectly frank. And this is the one from the show, from the cloud, the episode. And this is also from the episode. And this is the ship that I traced for this painting. So, out of all of the options, if I were to do anything to save my brain, considering I've been streaming for an hour already and haven't painted yet, I will probably just do 4 of these. So I don't blow my brain up. I think I'm going to pick one and go with it. And then go to the next. And then each one I complete, if I am tired, I will stop streaming. And if I have the energy, I will keep going until I'm done. So let's start with the one that I want the most, this one. I think I will do that. And I think I'm going to try to do it kind of in the way that it's going to be on the scene. So it's going to be even smaller than we think. So let's get our tape down. To a down the middle. Okay. The column that I usually have is with the tape, the water from when I like flood fill gets under the tape sometimes. So no matter how well I push it down right here like this, some is going to get underneath it, and that's fine. All right. And somewhere in the vicinity of here, Okay. Push this down really strong right here. And scoot over. And then go over here, push down, go strong over on this side. Trying to do it on the tape, not on the paper. We learned from one of our friends in chat that oils from your hand can act like a masking fluid in a way, and it adds a layer of oil on the paper and makes it where the water, which makes sense. The watercolor doesn't adhere, so you leave a little spot where the paper shines through, unless you really go heavy-handed with the ink. All right. Well, I think that's enough tape. Let me put that up. So we're back at color selection. Let's look at the colors we've got and figure out, can we recreate anything we're seeing here with the colors that we've got in some of our palettes? So obviously the palette I like the most is my primary one that has my like professional colors on it. So this guy. So I can either use from this or I can mix to get to some of the colors we're seeing. Purples, I've got one actual violet, this one right here that we can base off of, or we can do a mixture of some reds and blues and other stuff to try to get in the vicinity of some of these like hot pink colors that we see. I see some hot pink, I see some purples over through here and some dark blues like phthalo, I guess. And then there's some browns straight up the middle in the center. And then on the far top, we're so light that, I mean, it's just almost completely pure white. So I may just have no paint in that corner at all when I do that. There's some reds all the way up in there. And like it's more red on the top, far top right corner there than it is reds over here. I don't know. It's kind of close to this. It's a violet, like a pink up there, but then it's like red. I need to cut my nails. I said that earlier. Yeah. So I can probably wing all of this off of my main palette, or I can use another paint type. I'm already planning on using the liquid inks for the final touches to do the nebula and engine colors on the ship, but I haven't decided what paints I'm going to use for the ship itself, the hull coloring. Probably for my main set, Payne's gray and some kind of blue tone, because the Voyager hull is like a slight blue tone of gray. So that's probably what I'll go with that. For space, I don't know. I think maybe I'll try with this, and then I'll go to the Kuretake set if I want to have more control over some different colors. But the downside with these is they don't work great for nebula, or I don't know that they do. I actually haven't fully tried, maybe a little bit. These have a bad habit of getting glossy when the paint gets really thick and buttery. So you see the left side of the gradients, they start getting really glossy, and some of them got so glossy when I hit them with the heat gun that they blistered and popped. So it's not really a great paint for thick, buttery consistencies, you know? Even though those colors are gorgeous, like that cadmium orange or red, whatever that is, cadmium orange. So pretty. But yeah, cadmium orange. Okay, well, I'll put this up for now and I'll try it with my main set. And if anything, what we might do is pick two of these nebula, the one I've got up on screen, and then we'll pick another one out of the list. And maybe I'll try to recreate them twice. Maybe I'll do once with this palette, once with the Kuretake palette, and then we'll do the same thing for the other one. And that way we can do like a comparison of paints and see how we like how they come out. So let's do that. I think as well, I should get, no, yes, some scratch paper. As usual, I've got this giant stash of paper here, so this is great for playing around with the colors when I don't want to ruin the actual good quality paper. At least not right away. All right, so let's get this back. So let's look at our space scene we've got up here, and let's try to mix some colors and see what we can get. Okay, so Oh, I guess I could spray my palette down. Hey, you, get some water. Oh, excuse me. All right. So what are we gonna do? Well, I think I'm gonna have some coffee. Perfect. Next, let's take a look at some of our pure colors and then try to dilute them down and try to get some of these. So the pink one is going to be difficult because it's not just like a thinned out red. It's got like blue in it, right? It's got some violet things going on. So let's look at a couple of our red options. Just by itself, you've got a faint red there. It's almost too faint. Zoom in a little bit. Okay. So let's get a little more of that. Okay. So by itself, this is quinacridone red. So that's just a little bit too red by itself anyway. So how about we add a little more, keep it wet around the middle, and then let's pick on a French ultramarine and try to get some from the side of this way thicker than that ended up being. Yeah. Bring that over a little bit. Let this meet. Good for just a basic purple one, eh? But it's very faint. If I really did a thick mixture of the two of them, I think we might get something else entirely. But we'll try it just for experimentation's sake. This one is more orange though, so I think it makes it more muddy. But let's look. So there's that guy. Actually, let's do some of this down here. So connected on red. I'll put it right there. And a little bit of French ultramarines. I think that just made it a brighter violet color. It's mostly the blue that I started with. The red didn't really carry over to it too well. Let me try the other one. That highway red magenta is already going towards blue. I bet that one will probably go with the blue much better. There's the audio problem again, which is bad. Whatever. We're just going to run with it. I don't know why it's acting up. Okay, that turned a little bit more of a dark purple color. So that might be good for the purple streaks that we've got over, somewhere over here. So those tend to do some pretty colors. Okay. What about the actual violet red that we've got? What if we mix that with some of the blue? There's already some here. How does that one come out? That's dark. Let's thin it out a little bit. Yeah, so that's some good faint purples. And it already starts with kind of a more pure violet color anyway. So I kind of like that. How about that by itself, especially for the kind of hot pink color we're going for? Well, it actually does that violet color that's above the purple have nicely. Right in the top left quadrant to the right of the red portion. It actually does kind of nice. We just have to figure out what is our pink going to be. So this is just primary magenta. I feel like it needs some blue in there. But what is the question? Because I don't want it to turn, pure purple. I just do like the faintest touch of that. Maybe it's something I had an issue with the other day when I was trying to do something that was like needing like a flamingo pink. I don't really have anything, at least not in this. Um, Hot pink, huh? No, I mean maybe it's certainly a different shade. Uh, Rose Madder, get in there. That does have kind of a pinky color to it. The one on the top left is pure red. The one to the right of it is carmine. That one is closer. That one is closer. Yeah, we may end up going to that. But that was my thought. Trying to do this with my main palette first, and then we can shift gears and try the Kuretake set. And we'll see how that goes. All right. So we've got a bunch of options. And then browns, we've got browns already. So I don't have to really think about that too hard. Just mix some stuff together and be like, blam, a brown. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I think I can just kind of go for it on that one. Let's get these to the side for now. And get this tester to this 5, and we'll save it for the Kuretake set. Let's bring this down. And zoom back out a little bit, or all the way. Okay. Okay, better. So I'm going to go for this top left quadrant up here. So I think we're going to have to go wet on wet. So let me get my pour coated with stars modeler brush. I got most of it out of the bristles. It's all really just on top. When I do stars, it gets messy. Just gets on everything. Oh, let's go ahead and grab some fresh water. And coat this whole corner up here. And go up and down with it. And let me check and make sure it looks wet everywhere, because any dry spots will just not work. It's wet, but it's not soaked in. I think I'm going to let it sit for a minute, and then I'll hit it with another thin layer of water to make sure it's saturated, but not so much so that everything seeps into the tape. Here's my rope. Go and get that brush full. Right. Get the middle. Brush to the side. Brush to the side. What are we going to do? Brush to the side. Okay. And up and down. Try to even it out a little bit. Okay. Let that brush dry. Oh yeah, it's totally going to random video game music. It's doing Sonic now. All right. It looks nice and wet. I'm going to give it just a few seconds to soak in a little bit. because it's kind of wet in the top right corner, but not puddled. I just don't want it to be pure puddles. And again, I'm not going to try to recreate this in the whole quadrant. I'm going to try to go like from here, the top left, and leave a gap of like a third to the side. And I'm going to try to start it about a third of the way over and from the bottom about a third of the way up, because the ship is in the bottom left corner and they're heading towards this nebula that we're going to be making. So I'm going to leave some normal space where we're just going to have stars and warp lines in the final result. So the top right quadrant is going to be where we're going to try to put something like this in there. All right. Before we start drawing up too much, let's go and start hitting it. So the top middle, in this case here, is mostly white space. So I think I'm going to start with the lighter colors and work darker as I go. So I'm going to start with trying to do like a hot pink kind of color as much as I can anyway. So I think the closest I had to a hot pink is this primary red magenta, and just keeping it thin. So I'm going to just hit it along the middle and then towards here. Okay, and there's a little bit over on the side. Okay, I think there's a little bit poking in behind that spot and down underneath. And there's going to be some reds going off that way. And let's go a little bit more toward our violet kind of colors. I think it's doing Animal Crossing now. And got some purples there, some purples underneath, a little bit going off to the side, a little bit in there, and a tiny bit up the middle of it. Okay. And get some darker purples underneath and going up into here. Okay, and some in there, and some up at the edge of this guy. Okay. Next up, let's get that brownish kind of color. Like a little tan thing going on there. So let me get a little bit of this. Okay, now let's get it a little darker. I'm gonna go in and snag some of the dragon's blood that's still in the palette in the corner. And try to add a tiny bit of that in some spots too. Okay. Okay. Now let's start going darker. I'm going to grab some Payne's Gray and try to get in some of this purplish color. I'm going to start kind of hitting in some of these darker areas here. Okay. Just get some randoms in here. Okay. And let's start grabbing some indigo. I'm just going to fill in, not all, but a lot of the white gaps, except for the upper part up here where it's bright, with some indigo. And just go back for some more of the indigo because this is all starting to dry out. Just scribbling a little bit over the top of where I've already got like a faint gray going on. Try to get some different shapes in there. I don't want to go too far up this direction because it's so bright. It like blows out all of the darker color. Let's go back to our, excuse me, our brown color and try to get just a little bit more. Maybe not that high up, but okay. It's pretty. I didn't quite do what I said. I should have kept it dark on the bottommost corner of this. I like I started that way and then I let it spread out a bit much. I like how that looks. So, I don't know what this is. We're just going to let it play. Unless something plays that we're totally opposed to, we're just going to let it ride. All right. All right. I'm gonna let that dry. And now let's take a look at our Kuretake set. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this here. I'm gonna move my still wet palette over here. Let go. Give me. Okay. Well, here? No. Find somewhere to put it where it's out of the way. Okay. Go over here. Out of here. Okay. Next up, let's look up doing the same colors with that Kuretake palette. So we have ourselves. I clearly may have to go over this with another layer, but we'll look at that in a minute. Okay, so let's look at some of the red options and try to look for our like reds and pinks. For the pink, I think this carmine looks pretty amazing. And it has some really pretty reddish pinks to it. The one next to it is Rose Madder. What enough? Oh, it's got a nice pink to it as well. Actually, no, I think I like the Rose Madder. Maybe a mixture of the two. Nice. Rose Madder Deep starts getting really dark. That's this one. This is Rose Madder Deep. It starts getting a little purplish. So that might be good for some of the darker purpley colors. You can hit it with some of the blues and see how they blend. This one's Cerulean. It's barely there is what I meant to say. Mainly because I didn't wet this palette and think about it. Got a nice purple. So if I want Rose Madder, I don't know how well this is going to work. I've seen this before. It's better when it's wet, like wet. So you make a dot of the color that you want to source on one side, right? And then do all-terrain for the example. Okay, and do a dot of the other color on the other side, right? And then rinse off the brush and get just a tiny dot of clean water and connect the two and see how they act when they meet. Static is happening again. It's crazy. I don't know what's causing it. And I'll just help it along a little bit in both directions. Feels like it didn't do a tremendous amount of liquid flow. Let me grab a little tiny bit more of the ultramarine. Okay, I think that will probably do it. Okay. Never really quite seen that work well. I mean, it's probably me. Let's try something a little more pure. Let's do red. All right. Maybe we'll start it. What? I mean, that works in a way. It looks dark as hell, but it turned into purple. Basically, if I just mix these together. All right. That's an interesting sound. I can't tell if this is from Astrobot. It sounds like Astrobot. Or Animal Crossing. I think, let's see. Oh, Animal Crossing. KK Cruisin'. Yep. It had a slight Astrobot sound to it. Okay. I'm screwing around. I'm not actually doing what I'm supposed to do. Okay. So let's see. So we've got brown options already made for us. So we've got raw umber deep, which, I mean, that looks exactly like pretty much the brown that's on there. So more of a brown than this is. So that's an option. Another brown. It's not really brown, but burnt sienna is way too pale for that. It might be good for the upper part and like a mixture. Yeah, it kind of helps when it's darkened a bit for the upper middle portion of it. And purples, if we don't just go with what they make for us, we have some purples here already that are really gorgeous. Imperial Violet is this one. So that's a really pretty violet that's already there. So we might use that one in a couple spots. And the other one is a cobalt violet, which looks like this. Oh, that's not dark enough. Okay, there we are. Yep, just a little more red. So we have a lot of options in this one. So I think this palette's good for having more color options for Nebula. So let's try it. Just again for fun. And I'm already at hour 40, so I'm probably going to end after doing this. So we'll figure it out. Let's get this going. Same as before. Let's do clean water and wet the bottom palette down here. Okay. A little bit more. Hello. Desert, welcome in. Pretty been lurking like edit scans. All good. I am just screwing around. If you're lurking, you know that. I picked a random nebula that I liked from a list of ones that I found online, and I'm creating it once up above with my normal palette, and then down below is this Kurotake palette to kind of gauge the difference in the colors. So I can kind of figure out which one I'm going to use for the full scale. And then maybe Monday, I'll come back and I'll pick one of the other nebulas and I'll do the same test on the top right and bottom right quadrants here. And then we can pick between them to see which one we want to do big. All right. That's still pretty wet. I don't want it puddly though. I'm gonna let it. Yeah, it's definitely puddled. I'm gonna let it sit for a second and soak that up. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. You having to work? Still tired from yesterday festivities. No work. Lucky. Excellent. Yeah, me too. I have to if something happens. I'm kind of on call in a way, but I requested the time off and got it off on that contingency. So if anything wacky happens, and I have to disappear, then I can do that for a minute. We're kind of like locked down, read only Friday and holiday Black Friday as well. So hopefully nobody does anything to mess anything up anywhere. We'll see. And I'm going to get some of the pure red. Yeah. Whoops, that's way too much. A little bit up in here. A little tiny bit down in this area. Right. And let's look at a purple. I actually liked both of the options, so I'm going to do a little bit of both. Hello. Goddess
Goddess
Whispers
Whispers just
rating.
traded with 5 viewers.
Hey, Goddess, welcome in. I will ask how your stream was, but I also know for the first half of it, because I was there, playing Stardew Valley and kicking butt. Hope you are doing well. Hi, New Vegas, welcome in. Let me go over what I'm doing in short. I'm working on that Voyager painting, but I'm doing some tests for some nebula and using different paints. So the top left one, I'm doing kind of a faux version of the nebula you see in the corner up here. This is with my main palette, the top left one, and the below one I'm working on now. I'm using this Kuretake palette, so I can compare the colors a little bit. And my goal is to decide eventually what nebula I'm going to do in the corner of that Voyager painting. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I've got tons of painting our nebula options in here. I'll just quickly go through them. This one's from the show. This is also from the show, clearly, because the Voyager's in it. So I'm doing this one right now. This one, I mean, Pillars of Creation is always gorgeous, but complicated as hell for me. I don't know if I'm doing this one, but it's pretty. This one is cool as well. I love the colors in this one. This one's also gorgeous. This one's also gorgeous. This one's also gorgeous and very technical and possibly out of my range, but we'll see. And this is the first one on the list. So yeah, aside from the one that I'm working on, I'll want to pick for Monday what I'm going to do in these two quadrants. I'm going to do the same test with the same paints, but a different nebula. And then we can choose between the four, which one we like the most. Yeah, I've got a lot of options here. I like this one. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Let's try to get this done because I am getting kind of tired. So I'll probably stop when I'm done with this bottom one. Let's go ahead and hit. Oh yeah, we are still wet. We are. Okay, good. Make sure I'm not yammering while my paper dries off completely. Let's go ahead and pick on a purple. My brain, where am I at? We're gonna get some in here, down in there as well, and some over here just to get some hints of the color. How's everybody doing today? Everybody still feeling fat from Thanksgiving? Assuming you celebrated it. Or are you getting fat again because you're having leftovers? That's on the list. All right. And let's look at this one. My favorite, this Imperial Violet, is just gorgeous. I'll start with that. Go down this way a little bit. Certainly I'm not matching the same I did above. I'm just kind of faking it. We'll see. All right. And then some of that line. Thanksgiving happy belly. That's right. Even if you're not feeling very thankful for much, you can certainly be thankful to be full. All right, we got some. I don't really have that hot pink color I wanted up there. I think I was thinking this one might do it. And that kind of does it. Okay. Which nebula is that? Oh, Lord. I wish I could remember the name. I wonder if it's in the file name. Let me look. This one. Nope. It's some random screwball internet name. We can look it up later. I have the website where I got it from. It's actually like from Hubble, the Hubble images. You've got indigo. It's like, while this is wet, I really need to get some stuff down. Oh, and I need to get the brown in there too. Okay. And down here. Brown. A little darker than I wanted, but whatever. Thin it out. Yeah, I was oohing and awing earlier on that Hubble site, just downloading and looking at images. And then I found a secret. Well, not a secret to me. I'll show here in a second. It was so cool. Okay. Shit. And it's not dry yet, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the colors from the Karatake set better. There's like nail in the coffin from my main set sometimes, but I'm not really. All right. Well, I am going to let this hang out for a minute. I actually need some more pink in there. There we go. All right, I'm gonna let that sit and dry. Let's, oh, excuse me. Let's go temporarily. Okay, rearranging all kinds of stuff. Go over there. Let me zoom this back out. Take a look at that full screen for a minute. Isn't that pretty? Okay, that's enough. How do I get out of here? Nope. Escape. There we are. Let's open this up and go to this. It is esahubble.org. And this is where I got all the images from. So it could be on a previous page. I go to the first page here. Yeah, this is like the official Hubble website, or one of them, where the European Space Agency has their archive of a lot of images, and you can sort by like top 100. You can go through categories, which is what I did to pull up nebula. Like there's all kinds of stuff on here. Look, they even have stuff from the James Webb Telescope. So you can just browse through this and just have a freaking field day. But what I learned, let's look for the image we were just looking at. Oh, you know what? I think I got it somewhere else. Well, let's just pick any random image here. Like, oh, hell. I mean, I guess we can start with this one. What I found is I was doing this. I was just clicking on the thumbnail that it shows, and I was right-clicking and downloading this image, which is nice. It's big. And then I found down here the full-size image. And this thing is high definition. You can zoom in forever, and get so much detail. Look at this. Look at that. Look at how much I've got on my computer right now on this one image. But this is just a girl. This is just this. You wait. Let's look for, oh, I can do one better. Let's look for galaxies. Oh, and like like this one. Oh, hell, this. There's on their website too, they have a zoomable version right here, so you don't have to download it. Prepare to get lost. Zooming in. I don't know how good this one's going to be. I did take it at random, but let's see. So yeah, we're starting to get down into the pixelated portion, but I mean, the amount of detail on one image on this is absurd. Absolutely absurd. Oh, let's look at this one. Oh, is there a zoomable one? Yeah, right there. I mean, that just makes you trip out, right? Seeing how much detail that we can get. Seriously, check out the site. I'll link it in chat. Feel free to check that out. We can play for a moment and look at, oh God, was there original size? Yeah, there is. Something just blinged. Hydrate. You got it. Add time. Got it. We'll just browse while we're looking. Oh no, that's downloading it. How big is that? 10 gigs. I don't need that taking up space. Oh, zip file. It says right on it. Oh, you get to actually download that. Guys, you can download them in an archive. Get that. All right, well, let's look at them here. Full screen. Jupiter. I bet the original on these are gorgeous. Let's go back to that. Is there a way to look at the original in this? It might not be. Yeah, you may have to actually get them like from that archive. But we can go look at something. Planets. Are there any like wide field stars? I guess. Oh, look at this. What is that going to look like? Oh my God, just full screen this. It's like Christmas in an image. This little faint star right back here. That could have a whole solar system of people on it. That's just one. In that little tiny little view. It's not for something that's just obscene. Oh, some of these are gorgeous. Okay. Zoomable. Oh my God. Like, seriously, I'm turning the music off. I could get lost looking in these. Like, oh, what is that? A stellar sneezing fit. Oh, that's fun. What is that? That's kind of blurry, but it's cool looking. Oh yeah, that's as far as that one's willing to zoom. It's cool though. Let's see what else we got. Oh, yo, look at this one. Oh. Okay, let's go wild. Let's go wild. So under categories, Hubble is one thing. James Webb is higher resolution. Oh, is it just going to be pictures of the telescope itself? No. Here. Simulation? The thing's already in space. What are you trying to simulate? Just show me something actual. Simulation again? Why? Why? What? Hubble and Webb's view. Okay, can I zoom on this at least? That's amazing, the difference that they see. Okay, it doesn't zoom in any further than that, but that's pretty cool looking. And then the Webb version of the same spot is just overblown, but that dust cloud around the edge of a galaxy is just amazing. I'm telling you, space is just fucking weird, but amazing. Ad over? Awesome. Welcome back from ads. I'm just peering through, pouring over images. Picture of the week. What's the picture of the week? Oh, they go back. Ooh, baby stars blowing bubbles. No. Look at this. I can't stop myself. I'll be here for another hour. Look at that. It looks like a scorpion or something. Oh my God. Guys, space, I know these are false color images, but the objects in them are all real. So this is like 99% accuracy, and the 1% that remains is our inability to see in these spectrum aligned with what we can actually see in visible light. So these are filters of like X-ray and other filters and observable versions, and they overlay them and they like pitch shift them, not pitch, but that's audio, but they visually shift this visual spectrum into light that we can see in a way that makes it attractive. And that just makes it so freaking beautiful. You heard something about a space mission to look for life in the Venus atmosphere. Really? In Venus? Venus is like the worst planet in the solar system for life. Like, it's extremely hot, extremely high pressure. It's like a little miniature sun light, a light version of the sun. Like it's just like they sent the probe and they're amazed that it went down as far as it did, but it went down and it like got crushed at a certain point, if I remember right. Maybe it landed and I'm thinking of something else. I think they sent one into Jupiter and it got crushed from the pressure. Or maybe it was Saturn. I don't know. The atmosphere, though, has more favorable conditions for life. Really? I guess like between the heat underneath and pressure and the vacuum of space, there might be like a Goldilocks zone in the middle. That's an interesting thought. I've always been interested in shit, what's it called? One of the moons of Jupiter, Europa? Europa. The one that's water. That they highly think that there's life under the crusty ice layer. Because they think there's liquid water because it sprays out away from the planet sometimes. So they know it's there. And they already did that flyby mission that flew through that misty layer. The Soviets sent a probe to Venus and took pictures of the surface before the probe melted. That's what it was. That's so cool. Guys, space is so cool and hot. It's so amazing. It's just, we don't have the money or the technology or the people willing to put the money technology forward to care about space as much as we should be. Well, that didn't load. Right again? Zoomable? Load? Sometimes the site was kind of funky and wasn't wanting to load. That's okay. I'll look at another one. A bunch of galaxies. Oh, where are you? Oh, guys, come on, load. This thing is there, but it's not loading it. Come on. Do what I ask. I want to see space. Space. Oh, it's fine. Hey, Arte, welcome in. I'm just screwing around. Oh, wow. You know, I think that one's probably going to leak under the tape now that I'm looking at it. Oh, it'll be fine. We're looking at pictures of space stuff just for fun before I head out because I am working on this. I was trying to do kind of similar nebula, not exact, obviously, but doing different nebula methods using 2 different paint sets to kind of get an idea of like which one I like the look of the most before I throw down and try to do the scene behind my Voyager image. Now it loads. I didn't even click on it. It just sat there forever. And then this loaded. Let's go back to it and look at it really quick. Oh. Ooh. And it's blurry, but it's pretty. That's so cool. Ah, space is so gorgeous. Come on, open. Sometimes our site's kind of finicky. There it went. Ah, look at that. Oh, so neat looking. Wow, look how pretty the flare on some of these stars is. The lens flare. Look at that. Like a portal to another dimension. And that, so in this case, so hot. Melt your face off in a millisecond. Some of these are so neat. I absolutely love this. So yeah, feel free. I put the link up above if you want to go through there and just bookmark it and then be like, I'm going to explore space for a couple hours today and get lost in it. Just have fun with it. It's so cool. Ugh, all right. Let's see. I think I have, do I still have that open so you can see what I'm trying to replicate? Oh, I've got way more open than I meant to. Was it this way? No. It's that one. This is what I was trying to begin replicating to the left here a little bit. I'm trying to decide between it and a few other options. So this one, zoom. Oh, hey, it'll help if I'm on the right screen. So for the next test I'll do on Monday, I have to choose between these. This one I like. I like it because I can probably do it. This one's just for looks. There's no way I'm doing the pillars of creation. This is the one I was working on. Nebula. I know that one at least. That one's gorgeous as well. This is the one from Voyager. This is the one from the episode The Cloud, where I got the idea for doing this one. I'm probably not doing this, but I just had it just in case. This is them inside that cloud, which turns out to be a creature. They're inside a creature trying to get energy, realizing later that it's a creature and not a nebula, and they heard it and they had to fix it. So that's the whole story. That's it. Oh, and Voyager at warp. Yeah, so a lot of options in here. I like this one because the color of the stars in this is just, I mean, stellar. I mean, it's just absolutely a beautiful image. I love the colors in that. So yeah, I'm just looking for options. I'm looking for something to send Voyager warping at in that scene. So I will figure out from this between now and Monday, or even on Monday, which of these I'm going to do as my second scene on the right. And we'll hit the first two here and do another pass on each of them to try to thicken them up a little bit and make them look a bit more realistic. And then we'll use whatever image we choose from that list. We'll do my traditional paint palette on the upper here, like I did for this one. And then this Kuretake set will be the bottom one. And we'll try to recreate it 2 times-ish. I'm not going for perfection. I'm using it as like a general guide because clearly I'm not good enough to recreate these things exactly, but I can get the colors down somewhat and get the shapes. So that's what I'm going for. And then let me move everything carefully out of the way here. Then he says, moving things out of the way, all right, we'll recreate whatever we end up finding one day on the background on this. And my goal is to do whatever scene I decide upon is going to be in the top right quadrant of this, somewhere in this whole section up here. And it's going to fade into space colors with stars. And we're going to have warp lines because this ship is at warp, faster than light travel. For those who don't know, fantasy, clearly, obviously, warping in that direction toward the anomaly, the nebula, the whatever. So instead of it taking up the whole damn sheet, it's going to be like here, and maybe it'll overlap the saucer a bit because they're almost there instead of it being like in the far distance, right? So that's what we're going to do on another day. Later, much later. So yeah, that's where I'm going to stop, I think. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you, K-Arts, you and everybody else here as well. It was tasty, and we're going to have more of it before too long because we've got leftovers to eat. So we're probably going to do that here in a bit or for dinner. I don't know if it's going to be lunch or dinner. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I hope yours was good too. We picked out, we did a turkey breast, and then we made a dressing, stuffing dressing, whatever, mashed sweet potatoes, broccoli, like sauteed broccoli. I made some cranberry sauce the other day. I made the turkey gravy to go with it. So it's pretty good. K Arts is Krista jumbled. Oh, Krista. Oh, that's nice. That's easier than saying your username. If I'll remember, I'll try. Krista. Excellent. It's great to properly meet you. I go by Bear, but I usually say my name sometimes by accident because I'm not exactly afraid to say it. My name is Brian. But I usually go by Bear, which is, as Goddess knows now, is a part of my actual legal name as well. But I go by it for many reasons. That because part of my name, my dad is the only person on the planet who ever called me Bear. So it also reminds me of him. And in the gay community, I would probably be considered one. So I guess we'll just have that if multiple names. So that's awesome. Awesome, Krista. Great to meet you properly. At least on here. All right. Well, I think I'm going to finish up for the day and head out. Let's perhaps, when you hear Ursa Turkey or John, they call me Krista, okay? Ah, got it. Yeah, I just, it's nothing against anybody. in the world, and I'm saying this in the world overall, I am so bad sometimes about watching other people sometimes. Like I will go find them, raid them, follow them, love them, and they will come hang out here. And I will so rarely go out and find them. And it's not them. I don't like going out and really finding much. And I just kind of get to a point where I'm just like, I'm tired. I don't want to think about it. I don't care if anyone's online. I just want to go just vegetate and just forget life and work. I just forget to go watch people, but that's just it's antisocial, which I mean is how I am, but I'm trying to also partially use this to break myself of those bad habits. So I am going to do my damnedest to try to show up when people are online. Because if they're willing to show up for me, I need to be willing to show up for them. So I apologize for not being there sometimes. I will try to be there and I will try to learn these things and remember some of the people and the names and who you are and how you act and all those things. So that just it's so hard to want to go out and know people. It's just me. I'm wonky like that. But regardless, thank you. I appreciate you being here. I will see y'all at least Monday. Can get through the weekend, and then Monday will be here. We'll finish up the left side, work on stuff on the right side. That's probably all the time I'll have. And then probably Thursday, we'll start working on the big Voyager scene, and we'll have decided upon what we're going to do. All right, guys. Y'all have a great weekend. I will see y'all later. Bear out. Bye.